everyone, it's Pam with Organizer EZ 911 and welcome back to another episode of my FAB or FLOP series where I scour the internet looking for organizing and cleaning hacks to put to the test to see if they are truly a fabulous idea or a flop of an idea. Now this particular episode is going to be a little bit different in that I kind of already know how this hack works. But one of the viewers of our videos and another person who follows me on Facebook, when I asked about if there's any hacks out there that you'd like me to put to the test, she brought up a really good point on this one particular organizing hack. And I wanted to share some hitches that we don't think about with this particular hack that can be a fab idea if you kind of can customize it to your needs, or it can be a disaster and a flop of an idea. And the hack I'm talking about is about using a magazine rack to store all of your foil, your saran wrap type of things in these magazine racks. I have a particular metal one here. It's a little heavier. There are so many different kinds of racks out there. They have ones that have almost no front here. You see this angle here. There's some that are really low here. There are some that come all the way up, so it's just a box with an opening in the top. There are plastic ones, there are cardboard ones, this mesh one like I'm using just for a sample here. So I want to point out to you some of the things that can not turn out like they show in the photo, okay? And number one is what my viewer pointed out that she discovered is that this lower part of a magazine rack can cause some issues, especially if it's very low in the front. And let me explain what I mean with the issues. Say you're loading this up, okay? And let me get all these in here, and I'll put them by size order, but she had some of the baggies in here. However, because this front was low, when she'd open the door, this one would often fling out. And that does happen if you have a magazine holder that has a very low front. Your only option is to store a squattier box in the front. The other problem a lot of people, run into, including myself when I'm working with clients, is that the boxes don't fit right. Here's the thing, if you get a nice narrow one like this, it's a nice snug fit. Things stay in pretty well, and especially if I put this tighter one in the front and the others in the back, they're not going anywhere. When you get the plastic ones, which are lighter weight, the wider they are, the more the boxes will move around and have the potential to fall out. The next thing you need to think about when you're doing this hack is if you're going to attach it. A lot of the pictures show it attached to a cabinet door, which is a wonderful space saver if your cabinet is set up a certain way. Let me show you. Okay, so many of the photos put online regarding this hack show this magazine rack attached to a cabinet door, like so, which is fine and actually very efficient whenever you can utilize doors. But there's a few things that I want you to keep in mind if this is indeed what you want to do with it. Number one is this mesh rack would be way too heavy to actually, even with, Command Hook puts out these Velcro pieces that are supposed to hold 16 pounds. But again, when you're pulling something out constantly and putting it back in, I don't even think that would hold, and you'd hear it come crashing down, okay? But I'm going to use this just as an example, but I would recommend if you're putting it in a cabinet door that you use a plastic one or a lighter weight magazine holder, okay? But one of the things that, first of all, people don't take into account when they're doing it is think about when the door closes, okay? I'm going to show you if I have this. If you have one of these drawers that comes right out to the end, it is not going to, it's going to crash right in there. You cannot close your door, okay? Also, a lot of people put the rack up too high so that the paper will hit at the top, okay? So that's a couple of things you want to make sure when you're setting it up that you put it at a height that'll work. And if you have these kind of cabinets that come out, it's probably not going to work on any of your doors, all right? And if you look, a lot of people say, oh, this would be great. Now, I personally do not have just 4 of these boxes that I use. I have snack bags, I have sandwich bags, I have storage bags, I have freezer bags. You know, you have a lot more than just 4 or 5. These can only hold about 4 to 5 boxes. So again, do your counts ahead of time. Say how much do I have, how big are the boxes, measure your boxes, because again, you have to get the width in your magazine holder that would be able to support what you currently have. And then again, look at the structure of your cabinet that you want to put it in to hold it, to see if that would truly work. Okay, so one more thing I want to bring up about this particular organizing hack is a lot of people then, they get the sturdier magazine rack like this and they set it on a shelf, whether it be in their pantry or some other item where they just have it so it's nicely stacked, and they get maybe 2 or 3 of these together and they just put it on a shelf. Here's the thing to remember, what shelf you're putting it on. The higher you go up, when you go to grab it, you can't just pull it this way. You're going to have to pull up and out. It can become an issue if you have it on a higher shelf. You will always be taking it out, bringing it down low, pull it out, and then putting it back in. Okay, I did have a client once who put, it was up too high, and she kept yanking the whole magazine rack over because she wasn't getting enough height to get it out to clear the magazine holder. All right, little things. On the whole, this organizing hack is a fabulous idea, but it's only a fabulous idea if you take into account where you're going to put it, the size of your boxes, how high or low you're going to put it so that you're not tugging and pulling the magazine holder over. There's a lot of little things that can go drastically wrong and make this a horrible flop of an organizing hack. And if you have any organizing or cleaning hacks that you'd like for me to give a try, please leave a link to those hacks below, and I will try to give them a try out and see if they are truly a fab or a flop idea. I hope this tip helped. If it did, please poke that like button below and let me hear from you. Do you think this is a fabulous or a flop of an organizing hack? I'm Pam with Organizer AZ 911. I'll catch you next time.